I want to introduce the 13th head coach for ULM Baseball, Coach Ford Pemberton.
The wait is finally over. ULM Baseball has their next leader in Ford Pemberton. He comes over after spending 2 seasons with the Memphis Tigers, but he has extensive roots to the entire state of Louisiana. He spent some time at Nicholls State and then Southeastern, but even at the high school ranks, he took a cup of coffee, winning a couple state championships at C.E. Bird and Zachary. And even after crossing Tennessee state lines, it all brought him back home to the Nila to fulfill his dream as a head coach.
And there's no such thing as a perfect job, but there is a such thing as a perfect fit. And I believe that's exactly what's happening today. Louisiana is home. More specifically, North Louisiana is home. And now Northeast Louisiana, from now until the rest of my life, holds a dear, special place in my heart. And I am honored to be the next head baseball coach at the University of Louisiana, Monroe.
It's a great honor. You know, these jobs are hard to get. There's only 300 in the country, and my dream was to be a head coach, and I didn't know if it would happen or not. The paths were all different, but to be able to come back and do it in my home state, where I'm very connected with high school coaches and I love these players, it's a great feeling and it's a great honor. I'm ready to get this thing going.
How much convincing did it take for your family to come back to North Louisiana?
Not much. I told my wife first, and then I told my father and my mother and my sister, and I told them all together in a group text, and they started crying. And I got 3 kids, so it's special for me to have them right down the road and see their kids, and just it feels good to be back home. Everyone knows Louisiana is a unique state and a tight culture, and so we're excited to be back. But I'm ready for this to end, where I can take care of our players and get our roster intact and get our staff finalized, and it's going to be a really good deal.
Pemberton is not only just a well-known assistant, he's a mastermind when it comes to recruiting and a genius at pulling the most out of his players. And with the new landscape of college athletics, Pemberton knows he's got to get right to work, and he's already checking off that agenda list as he pieces together a roster.
Well, I got to work yesterday. I've been hired at a job. When we got to Memphis, we got there a week later than it is right now. We were hired June 18th, and we were working on the roster. There's only 15 players on the roster, so I've kind of been in this spot before with getting a roster ready for whatever you can do. Get the roster ready and get the right amount of players that you need from the fall. Not necessarily taking in as many as possible, but just finding the right number that you need for that first year and getting set in. So I've done this before. But yesterday I was on the phone with most of our roster that are in the portal, and I didn't get to everybody just because there was so much stuff going on in admin, needed stuff in HR. But we're going to get this thing right and get this thing going, and get our roster where it needs to be.
For all the Warhawks fans, if you wanted to know how he intends to build this program into the future, he listed out 3 specific things in order: player development, and player development. For a first-time head coach, he surely has the run-through-a-wall effect down pat. For ULM Warhawks Baseball, I'm Jeremy Bryan.